G'day and welcome back to the Best of the Rest podcast with Stix and Freeza. How are you, Stix?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, mate. How are you travelling?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
That's the way.
Had a little bit of time off, trying to improve the pod, sort out a few things.
Yeah, a bit of R&D.
Work schedules, all the rest.
Life.
Yeah.
Happens.
All part and parcel.
All right, so we've missed a couple of GPs, but you know that happens.
Yeah.
So we're up to what, Freezer?
So we're into Imola.
Imola.
Or what's the full name?
Yeah,
Gran Premio made in Italy dell'Emilia Romagna 2024.
Nailed it.
I think I even still missed a few words maybe.
They should get you doing voiceovers for Formula One.
Yeah, as you can tell,
Officially
my Italian's on point.
Natural talent.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to quickly buzz over practice and quali for Imola.
Yeah, I mean, for over the three practices, it wasn't a whole heap going on. Behrman jumped in the Haas in FP1.
I don't know about you, but when I heard Behrman was in that session,
yeah,
I automatically looked for him in the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like I saw Leclerc put a decent time and then, because I was only watching the recap, and then I look and I'm like, wait, what's Sainz doing in there? My brain just went to, he's in the Ferrari.
And when I heard about, Behrman doing a practice session, and then they panned to a Haas, and I was like, what are you showing me that for? And I was like, oh, fuck, hang on. He's saddled up in there. It looked weird compared to the Ferrari, but
I'd love to see him in the Ferrari again. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So I think he raked in the 15th, but positions don't really matter too much, especially FP1. But he seemed like he was handling the car pretty well, and they had a few upgrades going on. So
you can't really read too much into practice sessions, can you? Red Bull looked like they were struggling big time, but then can still pull it together, or you don't really know what to read.
It's getting me excited seeing the mixture of Ferraris and McLarens up at the top and going, what are we in for here?
It could be track specific, but I don't feel like we're too far off it being somewhat competitive at the front.
Yeah, it seems like that gap's starting to close. It was already getting competitive for the rest of the field. You could have say Aston's could be anywhere from top
Alonso
3 to
pole to
20th. Yeah, so cars could mix between, and now it seems like the top runners are actually starting to catch up a bit.
And I think it's, if you didn't have Verstappen on God tier level performance, you probably would have Red Bull in amongst the pack. Like you see Perez not dominating everyone.
No.
It's just Verstappen is literally the best driver on the grid at the moment.
Yeah.
That he is that bit further ahead. But I think the gap might be closing.
It seems that way.
But then again, I don't know if Red Bull have any upgrades in the pipeline either that may then jump them down the road a bit further, because, McLaren and Ferrari have chucked a few upgrades on that have helped somewhat. Yeah,
well, McLaren's was classed as major upgrades. It was, most of their car by the sounds of it.
I heard Sainz say that the upgrades they've got on this weekend is only part of a full package that's going to be put into play over the next, I don't know, I guess, few Grand Prix. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I didn't actually look into it much further than just his comments.
No. And I think the Haas they were bringing some upgrades. Not sure about many of the other teams, but Aston, they've seemed to have dropped the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. They seem to be quite affected by the wind in that, second last turn or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Alonso struggled there. I don't know what practice session it was, but he went off.
Yeah, into the wall and
did a bit of damage.
Lost it, and he was struggling.
That's got to be, obviously, the great drivers do still make mistakes, but it's very rare for him to make a mistake. So it's got to be the car in the right situation to put him into that situation where he loses it, because you'd back him in bloody 99 times out of 100 to catch it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I know we're going to get to Quali in a little bit, but ending up Quali in 20th for Fernando Alonso.
What happened there? Because I saw later on that Sargent was 20th. Did he get his lap time deleted? or was it?
Alonso.
Because I saw Alonso 20th, but then when they were doing the driver interviews, they had Sargent at 20th and Alonso at 19th. So I don't know if Sargent got his lap time deleted after the fact or whether that was an error or what.
Actually, if I look at Quali result here, it has got Sargent. It says DNF as a Quali.
Yeah, that's what come up. So I don't know whether.
But then when you go starting grid, Alonso's 20th and Sargent 19th. So I'm not sure actually what's.
That's weird because I saw the DNF come up as well. So I figured that he only did one competitive lap.
Unless the starting grid's changed, maybe Alonso is he starting from the pit? Maybe I haven't heard that he is, but maybe he's doing some repairs.
We'll find out in probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, when we
sit
jump off here and
watch the race,
get into the race. Obviously, most of you have probably already seen it, but we're avoiding it as best we can.
Which is extremely difficult.
It is.
And one of us may have failed.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Social media is a dangerous place when you're trying to stay away from some race results.
Yeah, it definitely is. Especially when I'm trying to pretend to be the role of the statistician.
On the pod.
Yeah.
Accidentally on the F1 website.
Accidentally clicking the wrong links.
I literally scroll through social media like, what's the next post? Oh, shit, that's something Mercedes related.
Yeah.
But then you're risking it flying through. What's the next thing after that?
Yeah, you land on something else. Ah, goodness.
The algorithm. The YouTube algorithm especially.
Hate them. But yeah, other than that, I think the only other things to note in practices was a few cars actually hitting gravel traps, which is great to see.
I don't mind having the gravel on sort of track limits type borderline.
Yeah, actually, punishing them for exceeding. And other than that, there was a little chicane corner, I think, there where, 80% of the cars were having all four wheels off the track at one point.
That's a gnarly slow-mo, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah. But
so Quali,
it is. I'll just quickly run through a 20-1. So this will be the actual starting grid. As we pointed out, there's that little bit of discrepancy that we haven't realised why for Alonso and Sargent. So 20 Alonso, 19 Sargent, 18 Magnussen, 17 Zhou Guanyu, 16 Bottas, 15 Gasly, 14 Albon, 13th Stroll, 12th Ocon, 11th Perez. Top 10, Hulkenberg, 9th Ricciardo, 8th Hamilton, 7th Tsunoda, 6th Russell, 5th Piastri after his 3-place grid penalty. He did quali second, but he was impeding on Magnussen. So 4th is Sainz, top 3, you got Charles Leclerc, 2nd is Norris, and 1st Max Verstappen. So it wasn't seeming that way for a lot of the practices. We thought, we might get a Charles Leclerc with the pole guru getting back on after leading, was it every practice session or almost every?
I think it was almost
there might have been one
every.
that he wasn't.
Piastri might have been fastest in one.
Yeah, he was up there at one point, wasn't he?
But yeah, it almost looked like it was going to be McLaren Ferrari battling for pole, but then Max Verstappen pulling one out.
Imagine it was like one of the FP, say 1 or 2 with Verstappen down in like 5th and Perez at like 8th or something. And you got like McLarens and Ferraris and
up there.
Verstappen having to work his way through the field from there.
The two things that there's probably 3 main things that stand out from that quali. Alonso in 20th, which is insane.
Yeah.
Perez missing out in the top 10.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even make Q3.
And then the, I was going to call them the Alpha Tauris, but the sellouts both sitting in the top 10.
Yeah. RB, Cash App.
V-Carb.
Yeah.
Racing Bulls. The Daniel Ricciardo show.
You got Tsunoda starting from 7th and Ricciardo from 9th. So
I'm actually really interested to see those two battle it out on track.
Hamilton splitting them.
Because there's a bit of spice there between them.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed even in like post-race or post-quali interviews, like Ricciardo is very focused. He's not focused on anyone else around him. He's just focused on beating Tsunoda.
It'd be interesting to see what happens in the first couple of corners because it's 7th and 9th. Ricciardo's going to be starting behind Tsunoda, literally like grid box behind. So
could be spicy.
Could be some interesting couple of corners. Both of them have had some unfortunate luck on some of the corners. So is one of them going to try a move around the outside or a dip on the inside?
It's going to be interesting. But yeah, like Ricciardo, he knows what he has to do and he has to beat Tsunoda. So he does talk about it quite a bit. More than I've noticed any other driver. Like you don't really hear Verstappen talking about Perez or Perez really talking about Verstappen.
Well,
because you probably wouldn't.
What's the argument there?
I suppose... Yeah, the Ferrari boys and McLaren, you do sort of hear them talk about each other a bit, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see because there's not really...
Well, I guess there's just the biggest spotlight on the team duo as such.
Yeah, biggest competitive
it's
between
almost,
teammates.
Lawson's coming in to one of your seats type scenario.
Yeah, go and earn a seat somewhere else or lose it.
Yeah, it's almost, public knowledge as such that Lawson's in when you guys are out, fight it out type thing. But, there might be some other stuff behind closed doors, but that's how they're publicising it anyway.
And we will definitely do a pod talking about the movement of drivers. Probably wait maybe a month or so until there's been a few more, until it's mostly locked away, because I feel like we're not far away from it considering they're just starting to fall here and there and lock in. There's not too many seats available. So it won't be long until they're all locked away. But yeah, that's an interesting conversation in itself.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, good grid overall. Spicy qualifying, sets up for a decent race, and we do know that it was a close finish, so we are keen to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, and you've got Hulkenberg that made Q3, so he ended up 10th, whereas Magnussen was out in Q1, so he's starting 18th, so there's a bit of difference there between the Haas boys as well.
Which has been the running theme of this year so far.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah, with Hulkenberg not there next year, K-Mag might retain his seat, might not, we'll see. But anyway, that'll probably wrap us up for Practice Quali chit-chat. We'll
go watch the race and
jump back in with a race review.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, cheers guys.
Thanks, see ya.
Look at this. This is not a dog. This is a piece of shit.